My friend. So you did it. You actually did it. Oh, seriously? With that guy? Wait, sit. Wait, sit. Sit. I'm gonna get myself a chair. Oh, sit. Okay, wait. I'm also going to sit down. I need to hear this. Sit, my friend. Sit. So tell me, how was it? How was it? Like, how did it look? Did it look like a worm? Or like a Vienna? Or Polony? What did it look like?
I'm gonna try. Work till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, 'cause I'm not giving up on my dream.
Hey gorgeous, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kopana Shimange, and this is how I do things. The show where you send me your questions and I'll let you know how I would do things, and I can take it as entertainment or use it as advice. Take it, don't take it, use it, don't use it, do what you will with it. I'm just letting you know what I would do if I was in your shoes. Listen, I'm no professional at all. I'm just letting you know what I would do if I was in your shoes. Honeys, if there's one question that I receive a lot, it is about getting down and getting dirty. It is about sex. It is about a lot of girl talk. But one question that I've been finding so interesting, and one that has been coming in a lot lately, is about your very first time. When is the right time? Who should I do it with? How long should I wait? How is it? So today, I'm breaking the seal, excuse the pun, and talking about what I wish I would have heard about, you know, breaking my virginity and doing it for the very first time. I just got nervous because my mom was watching this. And I'm not sure how much I'm going to confess. I don't think I'm going to confess. Hi mom! And my other mom. I got two moms now. You know, my husband's mom and my mom's. Both my moms. So it's a bit awkward, but it's fine. Let's get into it. I mean, it's one of those things that I don't think we talk about much, and it gets a little awkward, but it's a thing of life. It happens. And I think there are like 3 or 4 things that we need to think about, 3 or 4 things that I want to share with you guys that for me are important, and I really just want to share them with you. If you have not, or if you have had your first time already, let's just talk about it. Let's get it out in the open. Because who have you actually told about your first time? I had to sit down for this one, you know? It's important. It's cozy. It's one of those ones. So number 1, how was my first time? My first time, I would say, probably was too early. I think it was too early. Thank goodness it wasn't with a complete jerk. Because I've heard other stories from other girls where it's just like, I can't believe that guy. Ugh. That's the part that kind of sucks. It's like when you go to your prom or your matric dance and you just like, you go with this guy who's just was a pee-pee. And then now you're stuck with pictures of you in that beautiful dress. You looked stunning. But the guy was a pee-pee. And you're just like, do I cut him out? Do I just scratch his face out? It ruins my picture. And that's kind of how it is with your first time. You only have one first time, right? Especially if it is your choice. We're gonna get into that one in a second. So it was too early, and I felt like there was pressure, but there wasn't actually pressure. It was self-imposed pressure, because it was just something that we kept on talking about over and over and over again amongst the friendship circle that I had. And the friendship circle I had was like a big group of girls and guys. So we kept on talking about it. And I just felt as though I needed to. No one told me I had to. No one actually expressly told me, Kopana, you need to. No one. But I did. And a friend of mine, in the weirdest way, she knew what my intentions were on that day. So we went to this dude's house, and she went and hung out there, I think as support. And yeah, she was my best friend at the time. And without saying it, she was kind of there for me. So it was kind of weird. Like, there were a group of people at the crib, and then it went down. Was it anything spectacular? No. The guy was a gentleman, a really cool guy. We're dating for some time, really awesome person, still a very awesome person, was not a BP at all. So it was really great in terms of he was a good person, and I'm happy about that one. But it was still too early. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why I was doing it. I was curious more than anything. It was pressure more than anything. And it was just a blah moment because it's just, nothing was memorable about it. Nothing was special about it. It was just peer pressure and self-imposed peer pressure. It wasn't peer pressure that people were pressurizing me to do it. It was self-imposed. And I don't know if I'm an idealist, but I would have liked some sparkle, some fabulousness, some beauty in it, some magic. And there was none. I think most of us expect that to be the case, but there was none. There was none. You know, the media sells sex so much that we think that our first time is just going to be about what we read, and it is not. It is not. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but honestly, it isn't. I think I can even imagine for people who are strong enough to wait until they are married to have their first time. And even that time, when you do it for the first time with your husband, it's not great. But it gets better over time because you start to learn about yourself, you start to learn about your body. But the first time, guys, I think it's just about getting the job done. You know, just get done. Let's get through there, let's break through, and then we can move on. That's how I feel. You guys will let me know in the comments about how you guys went. I mean, I'm already blushing. It's hot in here. It's hot. So number 2, it must be your choice. I've received quite a number of inboxes that really break my heart. But unfortunately, the society that we live in is it's very sick. Our society is very sick. And the question is that if I was raped when I was younger, am I still a virgin? And the answer is yes. A lot of us think that virginity is the seal, you know, the skin that gets broken, and then we are no longer virgins. And that's the science of it. But, you know, it can't just be that, because I've known and seen other women who have had that seal broken, not by their choice or by other circumstances. And just because that happened without their choice, without them knowing, doesn't mean that it takes away that virginity for them. No, it's not. So yes, you are still a virgin. It is the first time you, by consent, you make a choice. That is when. That is when. I firstly have to say sorry, because it's not something that any woman should have to go through. And I hate the fact that, you know, I've sat with my friends before, and in a conversation we've all spoken about ways in which we were violated, and we've had either close encounters or either have been raped, and I hate it. I hate that that is the case. And if you are in a situation where that has happened to you, I'll leave the details for a helpline in the description down below. Please talk to someone. Please tell someone, tell a friend, tell your mom, speak about it. Call the helpline if you feel as though you can't have anyone to speak to. I hate that this is the case. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate that I can sit with my friends. And so many of us have gone through this experience, and I hate it. I hate it. No man should ever violate a woman in any way. It is our choice. We get to say no. And if you get into a position where you thought you wanted to, and then you get there and you realize, I actually don't want to, you have all the right in the world to say no. Say no. Just say it, no. And fight, kick, scream, everything. Even if it's with a person who is your boyfriend, and you thought to yourself that, you know what, I think I'm ready, and you tell him you're ready, and you guys get the whole scene going, and then you realize that actually I'm not ready. Say no. There's no, never ever have pressure from a guy, ever. Just say no. Number 3 is a question that many girls ask is, how can I prepare? I have a question from one specific lady who is about to get married, and she's a virgin, and she's just like, oh, how do I prepare for my first time? And it's scary. Whatever choice you make in your life about when you want to get down, that is completely up to you. But the best way to prepare personally is mentally. Mentally is one of the best preparations. Obviously, hygiene is important. Clean up, trim the little girl, you know, make sure that there are no obstructions in the way. And you feel as though maybe I should read something, maybe I should watch a video or something. You don't have to. The best way to prepare is mentally, and also to be honest with your partner and say that this is my first time. Let's take it slow, let's explore, and if need be, please talk me through this thing because I don't know what's happening. And it's such an innocent and pure way to approach it. I think it is the best way to approach it. You can tell me, especially everybody else who's done it before, how is the best way to approach it? I think it is just being honest. I mean, you're shy about it because now you just feel like this inexperienced being. But who has to be experienced with this thing? For who? For why? For what? If you're not experienced, it's fine. You've got this. You are untainted, babe. Oh, that is the best position to be. You are untainted. You get to define what sexual intimacy is from that moment. You define it. You're not going to be tainted by previous experiences. You're not going to be tainted by any. This is the beginning of an amazing and beautiful journey. Yes, it's nice. Imnand. However, at this point, when you finally decide to have your very first time, you can start this journey whichever way you want to. This whole function of your body that you have never really explored before, it's going to be strange. You're going to be nervous. It's natural to be nervous because you're just like, what's gonna happen? You're going to ask yourself, does that feel good or does it feel weird? Is it going to hurt? It's going to be more uncomfortable. More than that, more than anything, it's going to be uncomfortable. I don't think it's going to hurt, right? Unless you're dealing with a big piece of armory. But it's going to be uncomfortable. And the best way for it not to be uncomfortable, the best way for it to be pleasurable is for you to relax. But how are you going to relax when it's your first time and you have all these thoughts running through your mind? It's okay. Usually it's a mess. Usually you don't know what you're doing and you're nervous, and it takes a while for you just to honestly. And sometimes you just need to ask your person, oh wait, it might even take a long time for the thing to even go in there. It's just it's the weirdest thing, but it's okay. It is okay. And I think the pressure is even more when it's just like the first time with your person, like the first time with your husband. It's just like, it's weird. I'll tell you that before my husband and I got married, we went celibate because of a choice we made. And it felt like our first time all over again. And it was a bit of a mess for me personally. I just had to get used to myself again. And if that's what you're doing, whether it is breaking your virginity or going for the first time or the first time with your husband, it is going to be a bit of a mess. You're still going to discover how you feel. You're going to discover the match. Are you guys a match? You know, do I have to breathe and exercise and stretch before? Don't put these huge expectations of it to look like what it looks like in like 50 Shades of Grey. Don't worry about that. Just worry about being comfortable with your person and just be honest. Approach with that honesty and just want to explore. That's the most important part. Number 4 is to protect yourself, and this is on all levels, but obviously the most important part is to protect yourself physically by having a barrier between you and your partner. We talk about things such as not falling pregnant, and it's almost like that's the only thing that people are worried about. But babe, there are so many other problems and situations and messes that you can get through by not protecting yourself. Having a condom, having a barrier is honestly the one that you need, whether you guys have been tested, whether it is you guys are married, whatever it is. And especially at the beginning of your sexual relationship with anyone. Me and V, my husband, we got tested so many times in the first 2 years of our relationship. So many times we just test. And when the first time you're having that intimacy with a person, continue to use a condom until you guys are tested, until you are sure that you're exclusive, until you are sure that you can fully trust this person. And that's why when you have your first time with your husband, you want to have that full trust that it's just me and this man. So go get tested together. Look at each other's results together. Walk through it with each other. Go get tested several times. Because there is that window where you just still need to just test again after you tested the first time. So go to it together. It's free at a clinic or extremely cheap, and it's fine. There's no harm in saying it. Ask for it and be like, hey, when was the last time you got tested? Let's go get tested. And if a person doesn't want to get tested, should you be sleeping with that person? You can't just look at a person's face and say you're not no STIs, STDs, none. You can't see it on a person's face. So please protect yourself and please get tested. And finally, number 5. There are some pitfalls that you have to look out for. I will tell you now that men think with their peepees. They do. They really do. Especially if you decide that you want to head into this before marriage and before, you know, that commitment between the two of you. Okay? Now, as Africans, we get married on different levels. Culturally, then, you know, signing the certificate and white weddings and things like that. But once you guys have made that commitment and you decide that you're ready to have that relationship with a person, I need you to please think about this. Men think with their peepees. I never used to listen to this when I was young and I was like, you guys are just jealous. But truthfully speaking, men think with their peepees. A man can make you his goal. He can just say, I just need to tick this box that I've slept with Rachel. I kid you not. And it is the most heartbreaking thing to have emotionally invested yourself and then given yourself to a guy whom afterwards he's done with you and he's moving on. Men can just be so motivated to treat you so well just to get you into bed. They think with their pippies, I promise you. And he'll just treat you well, buy you flowers, take you out, talk to you so nice, and then afterwards switch up on you. This is not a drill. This is not a scene from a movie. It's real life. Disgusting, but true. Real life. I kid you not. How can you even tell the difference between a person who actually wants to have a relationship with you and a person who's just making you a goal? Is to decide for yourself. Never let a guy pressurize you into doing it. And if he says that, listen, you know, this needs to be part of our relationship or I'm going, then let him go. You don't want a person who does not respect that of you. Men have to go into women. That is, it's so vulnerable. And that pierces a certain level of confidence and pierces a certain level of vulnerability. That once you cross that level as a woman, because we are such emotional beings, it's very hard to come back from that after a person betrays us, after we give ourselves that way. So, wait, my babe. If you're not ready, don't let anybody pressurize you. But if you're ready, go for it. But don't let anybody pressurize you into doing it, especially a man. Especially a man. I'm so happy we had this conversation on a Wednesday on a girl talk. I hope I answered all your questions. I'm trying to think of all the questions that you guys sent me. Does it hurt? When should you do it? How long should it last? Honestly, if it's your first time, it could be 2 minutes. I kid you not. Could be 2 whole minutes. 120 seconds. And then it's gone. I don't know. You guys have to let me know how your first time was if you want to share. But that was my first time and what I wish I would have heard my first time. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have any advice for anybody who's going to do it for their first time. Whether you are not a virgin and you have just been celibate, what should you then think of? If it is your very first time, period. If it is your first time with your husband, just first time nje. What advice do you have for all of us here in the How I Do Things family? Let me know in the comment section down below. But I'm so happy we had this conversation and I have a feeling we are going to have a part 2. Just a feeling. But that's it. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Give it a big thumbs up. And until next time, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. in the morning for another live premiere. Until then, I'm Kopana Shimange and this is How I Do Things.